Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, shortly after President Trump sidelined Fauci and brought in Dr. Atlas to join Fauci and others as part of the COVID-19 task force, Fauci decided to go to the mainstream media and start warning of a second COVID-19 pandemic wave that's about to hit the United States of America. Not only that, but he also is making sinister plans for you, the American people. And when I reveal what those plans are, it will literally send chills down your spine. But before I get into the report, just a quick reminder, don't forget to check out my partner at getthetea.com. If you've not had his Life Change Tea Super Strength, and right now he's got amazing specials on this product, I want to encourage you to check it out. It has literally cleaned out my digestive system and has changed my life. And right now you can get it for free shipping using the code LISA in the discount box. So check it out at getthetea.com. All right, so just what are these sinister plans that Fauci has up his sleeves? We'll take a look at this article on lifesitenews.com, and it's titled, Fauci calls for strengthening the World Health Organization and rebuilding the infrastructure of human existence. A global biosafety cooperation should be improved by strengthening the UN and its agencies, particularly the World Health Organization, Fauci's and one of his colleagues argued. Now, before I read the report, I want to just remind you that President Trump defunded the World Health Organization because of the massive amount of corruption that was revealed with this COVID-19 pandemic. And yet, here we have Fauci vouching for the very existence, for the very funding, for the very backing of the World Health Organization and the United Nations. May we remind Fauci that he's not an elected official and that he has nothing to do with the American politics, but yet here he is saying you should submit to globalist rule. Now, here's the actual quote that he said, and I quote, "Living in greater harmony with nature will require changes in human behavior, as well as other radical changes that may take decades to achieve. Rebuilding the infrastructures of human existence, from cities to homes to workplaces, to water and sewer systems, to recreational and gathering venues." Fauci and National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease Science Senior Advisor David Morin wrote in their September 3rd edition of Cell. Now, I want to pause right there and just highlight a couple things that he says. He makes it very clear that he wants human behavior to change, and he also wants radical changes in society, radical changes to our infrastructure, to our workplace, to our recreational gatherings, to our pretty much everything. So he's talking about a straight up revamp of our entire system. But he goes on, and I quote, "In such a transformation, we will need to prioritize changes in those human behaviors that constitute risk for the emergence of infectious disease," Fauci and Morins continued. "Chief among them are reducing crowding at home, at work, and in public places, as well as minimizing environmental perturbations such as deforestation, intense urbanization, and intense animal farming. Equally important are ending global poverty, improving sanitation and hygiene, and reducing unsafe exposure to animals so that human and potential human pathogens have limited opportunities for contact." And they also suggest global biosafety cooperation, which should be improved by, right, by strengthening the UN and its agencies, particularly the World Health Organization. Fauci is literally vouching for the complete and utter transformation of the United States of America, you giving up your laws, your rights, your freedoms, your sovereignty to an international body that can dictate to you what to do in the name of safety and security, in the name of saving lives, of course. And you know what's sad is we don't have to look very far than the pandemic to see what people did. People said, "I'll lock myself in my home in the name of saving lives. I'll put a muzzle on my face in the name of saving lives." Would they do? Would they give up every ounce of freedom that they have in the name of saving lives? It's awful scary seeing what happened with this. But Fauci here, an unelected official, again, I'm going to reiterate that. An unelected official is telling you and I that we need to allow the United Nations to control, and I'm going to revamp what we said here, to control how many people can be in our home, how many people can be in our workplace, how many people we can have allowed in our businesses, how many people can gather in one place at a time, because God forbid that we have communication in and amongst ourselves, right? God forbid that. And they also want to limit environmental issues, control what car you drive. No more gas cars. You have to drive these ones that we just so happen to, have a piece of the pie in. What kind of power, how much power you can use in your home, what power you can use in your home, whether or not you can deforest that forest to prevent a forest fire, by the way, or do a control burn, or whether or not, right, you can allow your kids to go to certain schools or build that home or build that business that you want to build, or whether or not you can eat certain meat or eat meat at all. Because we have to give up that sovereignty to save the planet, to save the human race, to save lives, right? This big concocted climate change Agenda 21 is all about control and takeover. And then you know what? In the end, we were wrong. It's not going to die. We saved it. We saved the planet by putting all these regulations in. The planet wasn't doomed in that manner, but hey, we are talking full intrusive government regulations, and this is what Fauci and his colleague are vouching for. And you know what? They're doing everything in their power to get it. If they can hype the pandemic over and over and over, and they're now talking about it going through 2022. If they can do that, see, in the name of safety and security, how easy is it going to be to just, here's the who, and what if Biden and Kamala get in? Should I say Kamala Harris presidency gets in? She's a radical leftist. Her voting record is far worse than that of Bernie Sanders and far worse than that of Elizabeth Warren. Far worse. Could you imagine? They'll give all that funding back to the WHO, and the international regulations of the United States of America will begin. And you want to know who the UN is? This is some of the stuff the UN has done. Technocracy.news. The UN ignores non-government warnings about mandated vaccines. Why do they ignore them? They don't care. They don't care about the freedom to your body, because in the name of saving lives, you need this vaccine, right? Go to Restricted Republic. If you want more information on that, pjmedia.com. Jaw-dropping. United Nations puts communist China on the Human Rights Panel. You mean China, as in who is rounding up Muslims into re-education camps and literally Falun Gongs using their organs and passing them along? Yeah, that China. Communist China, who is making Christian churches worship him and sing hymns to him rather than Jesus. But that's not the only one they put on the panel before. Check out what they did back in 2015. Independent.co.uk. Anger after Saudi Arabia chosen to head key UN human rights panel. Saudi Arabia. People who stone their women if they cheat on their spouse, who have to wear big veils all over their entire bodies. That's what the United Nations is about. You see, Fauci wants to call the shots because he's in bed with a lot of these organizations. And I'm going to encourage you, get over to Restricted Republic, because I've got so much more information, reeling a lot of those ties, revealing a lot of what is being done under the radar. And I don't think we realize sometimes how powerful this authoritarian regime known as Fauci, sidelined or not, is. He's got radical ties with these organizations. In other words, again, he's not elected, but yet he's calling shots for you. Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Get on over to restrictedrepublic.com. There's a 14-day free trial to try it out, and it's a great way to support what I'm doing here. As you know, YouTube doesn't allow any more monetization on the channel here as well. Anyhow, I love all of you. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.